Hey everybody, this is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. Thank you for watching. Today, on the day we're recording this conversation, is the day that the Phantom Regiment Expert Lesson Series is going out into the world. One of the important gurus of that is Dr. Abby Yackel-Held. Abby, how are you?
I'm good, Tim. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for talking to me about it. So you are the oboe expert in the course, right?
Yes, I am, and I'm very happy to be a part of this project. We have some really great people on board.
Really, really smart educators. You can find a video at the website at Marching Arts Education. Just go to Marching Arts Education website. Right there on the homepage is a big graphic that says Phantom Regiment Expert Lesson Series now available. You can click there, it'll take you to the page. You can read all about the experts, and there are videos on the bottom, another one with Abby that you can see there, and then also one with all the other educators. So this is help for beginning students. Beginning musicians. I mean, we all know that beginning musicians need as much help as possible, right?
Oh, goodness, yes. Absolutely. And, this is meant to be giving individual help to students pursuing learning an instrument from the beginning stages, but it's also something that could work for a class of students to be using.
Absolutely. The idea is extra help for at home. And we all know that every student needs that. It's sort of like they have a private lesson teacher that is constantly sending them videos and they can keep following along and learning. And I got to tell you, as a band director, I would love to have my students have this resource where they can go home, they can play along with the expert on a video, they can get extra tips, they can be reminded about the things I'm trying to teach them. And I got to tell you, Dr. Held, I think oboe players really need help, and I think band directors really need help teaching oboe players, because I got to tell you, as a band director, oboe was like one of the things I knew I was really not good at.
Yeah, absolutely. I was started on the clarinet, and when I got switched to oboe, they kind of identified me. I was in a class of 40 beginning clarinet players, and they identified me as somebody who was picking it up quickly and learning very fast. And since the oboe has such a steep learning curve, they thought, let's give her a challenge. Let's switch her to the oboe. And I had excellent band directors. I grew up in the Houston area, but even they felt a little like starting me on oboe was daunting. I remember the very first day they gave me the oboe, they handed me the instrument, a reed, a fingering chart, and they sent me in the practice room, and they were just kind of like, figure it out. Good luck. And, their goal was to bring a private oboe instructor to come work with me during the clarinet class period, because we all need that individual attention. No matter how great your program is or how competent the band directors are, individual attention is something that's going to benefit every student. And with the Expert Lesson Series, students can go home every day after school, or even right now if they're learning remotely from home, they can go through this video on a weekly basis, playing with the expert that's teaching their instrument. And they also are getting these handouts every week, which accompany and are designed to go with the lesson and concepts being taught that week for additional practice and application of the concepts in that week's video.
Right. So if you're a student, you get extra help by playing along on these videos, having the expert talk you through these important concepts, and then you get to play along with the expert.
Right.
I think it's really cool. So I got to tell you, if I'm a kid at home struggling, here's what I want. I want to hear what it's supposed to sound like.
Yes.
So on this video, for example, you'd have Dr. Held, and she would play it on the oboe. When I'm hearing a good sound, I'm watching her play, I'm getting all of this like personalized information on the video. Then I can play along. It might sound the same. Like, all of that's just a great concept for a beginning musician.
Absolutely. I've been teaching beginning oboes for over 10 years now. And one of the things that helps them more than anything is just playing with me. I hear my students progress so quickly from week to week just by them having the opportunity to latch onto my sound. Now, in a traditional lesson setting, you're getting one lesson a week. But with this product, students can play along with me every day. And I'm really excited to see how that benefits students moving forward. Because in a traditional lesson setting, you're only seeing that teacher once a week. And to have that opportunity every day of the week, multiple times a week, is going to be a real benefit to students who are beginning on their instrument.
Right. So everybody imagine this. You're a parent. You want your student to fall in love with playing the instrument. You're so excited that they're learning this instrument. And they come home from class, or maybe they're already at home trying to learn. And then there they are in their room trying to practice. And they're like, oh man, am I remembering this right? And the whole thing can be a mystery. But imagine being able to turn on a video, play along, be reassured, have that. So I got to tell you, if you're a parent, you can sign up for a monthly subscription where you get access. The first 6 weeks are there right now. And then every week hereafter, a new video and a lesson with all this stuff is going to be showing up on the website. We're talking about the Expert Lesson Series presented by the Phantom Regiment, Drum and Bugle Corps, my alma mater, my Drum Corps. And the regiment's doing this. They want to help, right? They're like, let's help educators. And they, with Stan Malden and his great work with them, sort of leading the educational front there, he has put together this really smart, very talented group of private lesson experts on each of the instruments. So you can sign your student up. You just sign up for the subscription if you're a parent, and then they can have this extra, as Abby said, every day they can play along. They can go back and review lessons. New lessons appear every week. So they're going to be able to get engaged. And then they're going to stick with it more likely, and they're going to be doing better if they are in a class. And then, of course, your band director, there's a subscription where you can just pay for the year, one low price. We have really low introductory prices. And then every student in your class can get access to all these videos. So it's really, it's like really underpriced right now, everybody. It's like so many, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But we are saying band directors need help right now. Music educators need help. Music students who are, especially those that are at home. We talked to directors who are saying, my students who are in class are doing okay. They're a little bit behind, but my students who are only at home tend to be way more behind. So this is a way to catch them up.
Yeah, and this was actually kind of how the idea was conceived. Phantom Regiment recognized that Corona is causing a new challenge to band directors with the format in which they can teach and what that means for starting this class of beginners. And band directors might be tempted to just ignore the challenge and say, you know what, we just won't start beginners this year. We'll get back at it next year. But I would urge them to reconsider. Think about when that class gets to high school and then you have an empty class of freshmen or an empty class of seniors one day. It's not something that it's not an option you need to resort to. There's a solution, and we're offering that solution as really more than anything out of love for the community, which we teach in, that we want to help and step and fill this void that there currently is by helping provide a solution to band directors that are faced with these challenges of teaching online or teaching students in various formats even.
Right. So the Phantom Regiment is here trying to help. I love that they're doing this as part of their educational outreach, and they have lots of things going on. But this is something for beginning students. I got to tell you, if I'm a band director or I'm a parent, I would love for those students, my student, be able to go home, turn on a video, get reinforcement about the concepts, play along, hear what it's supposed to sound like. It's just extra help for practicing at home. And every student needs that. So Dr. Held, you are the oboe guru. So why don't you give us some examples of what kind of stuff are you telling a beginning oboe student?
Well, we start at the beginning. In every single one of these lessons, the expert is starting from day one. So your student doesn't need any prior knowledge to use this product. We're going to teach them how to put the instrument together. We're going to teach them fingerings, and we're going to teach them how to make a good fundamental sound on their instrument. So with the oboe, that all starts with the reed. And I do have a reed soaked up here. I always have my students start with the reed first by crowing. Crowing is a different sound on the reed than playing. And it's just a way of testing that the reed is working well. And I also like to start with crowing because it takes more air than playing on the reed does. So if a student can make a noise crowing, then you know for sure that they're going to have enough air for playing. So crowing, with that, we're going to place the throat, the shiny bark part of the reed, right by the string on the bottom lip, and the reed is going to be in the mouth, like that. And then you're going to blow lots of air through really fast. And ideally, we'd like to hear multiple noises. That means that this is going to be a good read. It's going to be nice and happy. Now, if you don't have multiple noises, either the student isn't blowing enough or the read is too hard. So there are diagnostics that you can draw to help better understand what challenges the students might be facing. To see if it's just that they're not blowing enough, you can have them crescendo, starting with less air, moving more through. And the more air I blow, the more sounds add in. So if a student is making a nice crow like that, then I know they're using plenty of air and they're going to be able to produce tone on the oboe. Then that translates to playing on the reed, which instead of in the mouth is on the lip. So the tip of the reed will go on the center of the bottom lip. Your teeth will be apart and you'll seal around the reed and you'll blow that same fast air. The most common problem with students creating tone is just that they're not moving their air fast enough. They've never had to blow so fast before in their life. And so I like to try and tell them that they need to shush air through their reed. Tim, I want you to try this. Have you ever been frustrated with anyone and you wanted them to be quiet?
Well, of course. I was a music teacher for many years.
So what happens? Eventually you shush them and you go, shh, right? Can I hear you shush?
Oh, sure. Shh.
Right. But so much that you're afraid that maybe you might spit. That's how much shush I want.
I think I just did, actually.
Did you?
I'll try it again. Shh. Okay,
very good.
That was better.
And if you put your hand on your tummy when you do that, you can feel that your core is engaged when you shush.
Yes, it is.
Shh. Yes. And so that's how we create air pressure on the oboe. Shushy air through the reed. And that's how we're getting a nice full tone on the reed. From that.
Okay, so I have to interrupt you for a minute. I have to interrupt you. Remember where you are. But I just want to point out to everybody, this is exactly a demonstration of why I think this new set of courses from the Phantom Regiment, the Expert Lesson Series that we're talking about, you can find it at marchingartseducation.com. The reason I think this is so great is, Dr. Held, I can see you and you're showing me really up close. This is exactly where the reed goes. This is like you're explaining it to me. So if I'm at home and I'm a new student, I'm going to want to watch that every night to remember exactly. Am I doing that right? Do I have it on the right place? You see how intimate this is. And I love that. Like you're really showing me up close, which is something they really can't get even in band class these days.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. And we have a really great videographer, Joe Holes, who's helped on this project. And he's gotten some really great detail shots that, again, are just more up close than you can get even in the classroom. And with the oboe, everything goes back to the reed. It's our version of buzzing. It's our version of burping and doing all those exercises that brass players are so used to. We have all of that too here with our reed. And that's where the fundamentals of oboe playing begin in my instruction and in my course.
I love it. And I'm sure at some point you also are going to explain to them about, making reeds and getting your reed correct and all that's very complicated for oboes. And again, as a band director, I'm not an expert at this. So I would want my oboe players to be able to watch Dr. Held's videos to learn, to get, and in fact, as a band director, I might want to watch your videos, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. I've talked to some friends who are band directors that they're interested to buy this course just for themselves. I mean, they're going to watch it on a weekly basis, and then that's going to help them structure their own course and teach. And we have in each semester 12 weeks of lessons. That's fewer weeks than there are in the average semester because there will be a week that your students struggle with. They're going to maybe hit a wall, and then that's a week that they should repeat and practice further. So that's why we made it fewer weeks in the semester than there are weeks, so that students can repeat when something gets more challenging, and also just to provide flexibility. We know that teachers are tasked with state testing. We know that sometimes there are weather days, and so there's flexibility in that regard.
Yeah, and the point is that this information is there. The student can keep going back to it at home. They can, let me watch that video. I loved that song. Let me play along again on that song. All of those videos are there. As I said, new videos are coming out weekly through that first 12 weeks. Then in January, there'll be another 12 that will be out. There are courses for flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, horn, trumpet, trombone,
tuba,
baritone, and
euphonium.
tuba.
Yeah.
Did I miss one?
Saxophone.
Saxophone. Sorry, Stan.
Clarinet. Yes,
But
all
go
of the
to
band instruments.
all the basic instruments. So go to Marching Arts Education, click on the logo right there on the homepage for the Phantom Regiment Expert Lesson Series. I want to say a huge thank you to Phantom Regiment for supporting this. They're making this possible. Of course, they're helping to get the word out. Stan has put together this amazing group of educators, of which Dr. Held is one of them. And Abby, I love that you guys have done this. You know, it's like, let's try to help. I can tell you, if I'm a parent, I want my student to have that help. And I'm thinking, okay, for less than $10 a month, I can sign them up and they can watch a video every night. They're going to practice better. They're going to get better instruction. If I'm a band director, literally for just a couple $100s, which every school can find for you.
Outstanding. Yes.
Every student.
Yes.
In your classes it's really a ridiculous deal.
Yeah. Even if you're already taking lessons, it's great supplemental help. It's great supplemental assignments. So there's really something in it for everyone in the entire equation. So we're really excited to be releasing today. We've been working hard on this for a long time, and we're just excited to share what we've been working on with those that we feel can benefit from it.
Absolutely. So if you're watching this and you know anyone who is a music teacher who has beginners, or is a high school director and they want their beginners to be better so that when they get to them, they're better, they need to know about this. If you know anybody that has a student at home and they're a parent, they could sign up and get the subscription, and then their student can have this extra help all along. I mean, I want my student, whether I'm a director, a music teacher, or I'm a parent, I want them to have every advantage they can so that they can try to be successful. There's so many things to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now with learning in different formats and with some students in school and some students at home, it's a great solution for how to stay productive in this really strange time that we're in, and how to get help in a time where it's difficult to have a face-to-face lesson, and in some cases not safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Phantom Regiment is here to help with some really, really top educators. You can read all about the educators on the website. Go to marchingartseducation.com. If you don't see the graphic on the homepage, just type in Phantom Regiment. It'll come up. You can find the course, or put in Expert Lesson Series in the search bar, whatever. There's lots of ways to find it. Or just go to the main menu where it says Start Here. You'll see right there, Phantom Regiment Expert Lesson Series. Dr. Held, thank you for talking with me. Thank you for being a part of it. It's been a lot of work for all the educators who are creating these videos and creating this extra help. I'm excited for students to do better because of what you're doing.
Yeah, and for anybody who's watching this, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you about the product and the ways that it can help you in your program.
Absolutely. And if you go to the website, there are videos on the main page that explain all about it. You can meet the educators. You can see bios of the educators. You can see the special introductory prices. These are going to be going up, but if you lock in now if you're a parent and you lock in for your monthly subscription, that's not going to go up. It's really quite a great deal. So jump in now. If you know anybody, please let them know. Thank you again to the Phantom Regiment for doing this, and for all these educators for their hard work. Dr. Held, thanks for talking to me. This was fun.
Thank you for having me, Tim. It was great.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.